Hello, hello, hello. Sharon Weller from Perth, Australia here. How is everybody? Hello, Stephen, Joe. Thank you for being here. I thought I'd come on early, just watching Jules Ann's, live video that I missed today. So I watched that. Lucky person watching over at the Warriors game today. So very envious of her. Anyway, I thought I'd come on early because there was nobody else. The slots were empty. So, and I got bored waiting. So I thought, oh, well, it's only an extra 10 minutes and I probably can fill that up pretty quick. So it's my 1-year-old birthday in TBC. How is that? First time ever I have lasted more than 6 months at any one thing. So happy birthday to me. All right, I've celebrated, had the cake, had the donuts, had whatever, and I'm full. But it was nice. So I was reminiscing about my first lot of videos I did way back when. And when I looked at them, I shivered because they were not pretty. Imagine, I mean, have a look at your first couple of videos that you made and you will get the picture. So when Randy said, you know, when he looked at his first couple of videos compared to today, he was not joking. So a lot has changed, extremely lot. And for the better, definitely for the better. But me personally, growing with TBC, the growth within myself, the belief I have in this coin, and utilising the blog, Kringle Cash, and the web wallet to my advantage to grow the community and talk about the economy, which is the TBC coin, has exploded. I mean, just before I said, okay, guys, I'm coming on, I quickly signed somebody up. So some of the things, and here's the funny thing, I said to her, now, did you follow my instructions word for word? Yep. Did it make sense? Yep. Can you follow it without me having to stay here? No. Why? I might forget something. So I'm looking at the time thinking, yeah, I've got plenty of time. And yeah, we got there. We got there. And right at the end, she said, was that it? And I said, yes, that was it. It took you all of 20 minutes. And she said, but it's taken me 3 weeks. And I went, yeah, I know it's taken you 3 weeks. I wanted to do this 3 weeks ago, and it still would have taken you 20 minutes. So I'm sitting here having a little giggle to myself, and she's really full of wonder, amazement now. And I said, okay, a little task. I want you to go into the blog and then start from page 1. Don't start on the first page, but go to the beginning. And then so that was it. I left her to it. And all she could say is, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I said, all I want you to do is just start reading, and I will come back to you later on. Now, did that happen? Sorry. Did that happen to me anytime 12 months ago? Oh, heck, no. How did I cope 12 months ago? Oh, please don't ask. I really didn't have a coach. In fact, I can honestly say I didn't have a coach. My upline is not the person who sent me the link to sign up. Is she my coach? No. What happened? Who knows? So then I read, and I read. But the passion was already there from day one. Like, I got the link, okay. My aunt sent me the link and she said, Bub, look at this. Well, I was busy with Bitcoin at the time, and I went, yeah, okay. 3 days later, Bub, you looked at it? Yeah, yep, I got it open now. I read it. It was the first in the formula. It was that first paragraph that got me. I hadn't even seen anything else, but it was that paragraph and what it stood for. I'll show you in a minute. So, hence to say, I signed up straight away. And then the questions from me started flowing, from me to my aunt. What do I do now? What do I do? Aunt was in between ways of going back to from Perth to Auckland. Well, what was meant to have been just a few weeks turned into 3 months. So virtually, luckily for me, I have an administration background. So I was able to figure out quite a bit myself based on the blog and watching Randy. So, because I didn't know a lot of the top 10 then, other than Carrie and Dan Lutz. So picking up one of those, I prefer Carrie because she talks slower and softer. So I preferred Carrie then over anybody, actually, just so I could absorb what I was seeing in front of me up against what she was saying. Now, that was fine. But like I said, brand new at the system. And yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. I was that hungry because I knew this coin, there was something about it. You know, if you dabble in cryptocurrency, and I dabbled, just a look-see dabbled, not a serious trader. You soon know, and you start to learn what to keep beside you and what to flick off, okay? So, but you will test the waters with these cryptos and I still had my billion coin. I don't know what it is, but when I want to talk, I have a scratchy throat. So, anyway, excuse me, I've got a cough now. Luckily for me, the power of what I read in the blog had me. It had me lock, stock and barrel. The bonus was watching the amount grow in the TBC web wallet. That was a bonus. So then I started talking to my family and friends because you follow everything in the marketing and what Randy says to do. You follow it, okay? Well, I tell you what, why not follow it? Because the one thing it does for you, if you follow the list, it stops you from thinking, oh, what do I do next? Where do I go? Okay? The format is already set. You just follow it. So I signed up family and friends, and then says, right, this is how you do it. Training sessions, and then that was fine. And then halfway along, not them, but me, I started noticing a pattern. Okay, this is with my family and friends. You've got the clever ones that have taken off, you've got the sitters that are annoying, and then you've got the dummies that's always going to bug me. And that's fine. You just train them a little bit more. Okay. So, and that's the category that I put on the whole three of them. And then I kept getting a couple of questions all the time was, when do I cash out? Because they've got this mentality that, oh, you know, we're going to cash out soon. I refer them back to the blog. I refer them right to the page. Don't even go into the education. And then under the formula, I said, what does it say? And then I make them read it out loud. Okay, they read it out loud. And then I said, do you understand what you just read? No, you told me to read out loud. And I went, right. Now I'm going to share my screen. Because I find that this is something that a lot of newbies fail to understand. I do this every time. Okay, here it is. Now this one here. See, I don't go in it. This here. That tells them exactly what it is. And if there's a fee involved, it's right there. That's it. And so we go through this. This membership is free within the TBC community. We go through this paragraph together. And then I break it down. Each line, I break it down again. So they understand it. And then at the end, I say to them, it's why it was created was for this, for the last sentence in that paragraph. And I said, there is a fee, and it's right here. I said $10 lifetime fee. By then, they've already signed up. So I tell them to open their web wallet. They open their web wallet, and I said, what have you got in your web wallet? And they tell me, and I said, and that cost you how much? And then they look at the $10 fee. And I said, then I would say to them, and I don't say it lightly, and I say, why was this coin created? And then we read that part together, and I said, does that part, do we fit in that sentence? And then they go, no, and I went, really? Think about it, really? Do we really? And then it makes them think. And I said, because I know there have been times where I've gone without dinner or lunch or breakfast in my lifetime. and it makes them think. And I said, this coin was created so we will never starve again. Us, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, our friends, our family, you name it, the man down the street, anybody who can walk. And then after a while, they've got the concept. Okay. They've gotten onto the concept. And then about a month later, I go back to them. I went, how are you going? Oh, I'm all right. And I went, when you say you're all right, what do you mean you're all right? Well, you know that, it's straight away, as soon as they say, you know, and I knew they're just sitting on the fence. So I sit down to them and I say, okay, how can I help you? It's the first thing they do. Look left, then right, so they don't have to look at me. So what I did was I got all the fence sitters together. And then I said, right, the reason I've got you all together is you all got something in common. It wasn't so much as they didn't understand the coin. It was all them. I had to figure out a way how to bring them forward. So, because, and this is where that thinking of we have been so, what's that word? Institutionalized in the way we think, in the way we go about our actions daily. We become dependent on the system, on the government for handouts. So when something like this is presented to any of them, they cannot get their head around it. Now, this is me back then, 6 months ago. Now, I still had to find a way and find a group, because at that time, I didn't have a leader as such for myself. So I'm flying blind with all my sign-ups. Fast forward another 6 months to today, our TBC community has grown so vast. I'm here in Perth, Australia. I have friends around the world in the TBC community. And we do have a leader. He's the voice of TBC. But he's going to be replaced soon by the voices. Anyway, so when I first started in TBC compared to now, yeah, there is a lot I wish I knew back then. But in saying that, then It's made me more knowledgeable. I now know how to get over those humps in the road that was there when I first started. Yes, I will go to, well, I will ask questions amongst the leaders, amongst other broadcasters, for an answer if I have a problem. So the help for me now is right up there. But I tell you what, I had to laugh at myself when I first looked at my first videos. I must have had a script attached to my screen because my visual was on that screen and not on my camera. I'm going to cough. Now, so, and I remember my very, very, very first video. It lasted 1 minute 45 seconds. It took 20 takes. Now, I don't know what I've done with my mobile. It was done on my mobile because I didn't know how to work my computer or my laptop. And then, I don't know how you did it, but I remember I had my mobile in my hand and I was going like this and like this and like this and like this and like this, and how's my hair, how's my eyes. As long as my hair's combed today, that's fine. But it was so funny. I had to have a giggle to myself, honestly. Now, TBC today. Jeez, I had a blank moment there for a minute. Sorry, I'll blame it on age. TBC today. I'm glad I struggled in those early days. Okay, I really am. I'm glad about the video thing because it helped me to overcome just saying this video speech. I tell you what, another thing is me talking live in this in these live broadcasts. You would not know this, but I suffered with a bad speech impediment. And one of the things my speech therapist said was, you need to talk out loud so you can hear your voice. And I went, no, I don't. So when we had to do the live broadcasts, having to do this or forced into doing this or doing this and doing it at the same time every day, I can hold a conversation. In my first videos, my voice would crack. But now I can talk and talk and talk. Okay, I cough, and that's another blimey problem, but at least now I can hold a conversation. So doing these live broadcasts is a good thing. You know what? We're still in this? Okay. This page here means more to me because that's my guidelines. All these, that's a learning thing. But this here guides me on what I can and can't do. And every member needs to know that. People want to cash out, guide them back here. when we have members that are a bit unsure of what because this is like the terms and conditions of TBC, okay? We guide them back here. Because this will tell each member what will happen to them if they break it. Which is a really, really, really good thing. So, and then we go into the blog. Now, I love watching the videos, yes, but I like reading. I love the reading. And this one here, is this the apple tree? I had to look, I was amazed when in the send button meeting, in the send button meeting we had before this post came out on the blog. Randy gave us that little test. He showed us, I think, about 6 apple seeds. I couldn't tell what they were when he initially posted it. But it helped prepare me for what was to come when that the apple tree post came out. Now, I think, and it's so brilliant. I mean, without reading all the words to the apple tree, you look at the first picture and you got a bare tree besides 2 fruit, okay? So what does that mean? And then you've got a full apple tree. So those 2 pictures there is telling you something that you must do to get that tree full of apples. And the end result, once that is, you know, I mean, I consider myself a builder. I love building things. And that is the perfect example on how to build. Just those 2 pictures alone. So let me see. Can I finish it? Let's give it a go, okay? This is what a young apple tree looks like. Notice that it does bear fruit, but no one would expect a young apple tree to bear a lot of fruit. Now, I've tried growing apple trees, okay, and I've tried growing mango trees, and I had a better fruitage with the mango than the apple. There was a trick to it. Okay. The builders recognised that TBC is young. 2 years. 2 years young. That, in system terms, nothing. That is nothing. Remember, when Bitcoin came out, it came out in 2009. 2009. It never reached its peak until December 2017. 8 years later. And it hasn't been that high ever since. The people that purchased TBC in 2016 took the largest risk. In 2016, TBC went from being an idea in the mind of one person to being a proven concept. I'm so glad that person took the risk and turned it into what it is today. Just like Mr. Bitcoin. We took a risk and where it is today. But no comparison in the value, okay? It's all about the value. Reports of goods and services being traded for the TBC happened as early as 2016. Within first 6 months of existence. So they were already trading TBC within the first 6 months. As soon as it went live, May the 21st, 2016, they were already trading. It's nothing new to admin. A large portion of the TBC trades today are for goods and services and not just peer-to-peer exchanges of TBC for fiat. So anyone saying TBC is worthless have refused to look at the fact that it does hold its current price. What is wrong with those people? TBC goes up. It's never gone down. Never. Ever since I've been in it, I've never seen it drop. If there is a drop somewhere, it's usually a system fault. It's not the value of the TBC itself. And that's a quick fix. Large portion of the TBC trades. Oh, I've read that. So anyone saying that TBC is worthless have refused to look at the fact it does hold its current price value on a peer-to-peer basis. Exactly. Only a person talking out of their, well, you know where, would say TBC is worthless today. TBC is clearly bearing fruit today, like this young apple tree. See, it may look bare, but it's starting to bear fruit. And the reports of purchases made using TBC pour in daily now, but like this young apple tree, TBC, not widely accepted everywhere yet. TBC builders know this is true. They know that spending TBC is not effortless yet. And we know that TBC is not widely accepted yet. But we also know that the fiat is struggling. And do you know? Okay. Now, I was talking to my husband. We do that, and I said to him, around 2010, I said, 2010. No, I'll go back even earlier. Early 2000. Okay. I said, your wages then was really high as a take home pay. I said was considered quite high. And he went, yes. And I said, but 8 years later, you're still in the same position and you're still doing the same job and you're still doing the same hours, but something's gone wrong. You're actually getting less. And he went, yes. And I said, I'm wondering if, now this is speculation, if this is a way of keeping workers in a position where instead of working as, once was, is now, what's the word? It's not as fulfilling as what it used to be, not in the work sector or the take-home pay sector, definitely not in the take-home pay sector. Once upon a time, you could live on one wage. Now it's impossible. The work is the same, if not longer. The pay packet has gone smaller. You're becoming dependent on finding trying to make up the difference, that what you lost. You're becoming dependent, whether you have to depend on social welfare to make up that difference or something like this. I get the feeling that we've been made to become dependent again. Nothing is ever smarter. It's actually harder. So when that person or group of people created the TBC coin, he would have had a vision that would exceed even the smartest and wealthiest person on the planet. You have the elite over here. He tells you what it's created for. The elite think they have it over every man, woman, and child. The way I see it, this coin will uplift mankind. So these elite people here, same. If you think about it in those terms, because when you look at it like that, it makes more sense. But tell you what, I have never, ever, ever, before joining TBC, the Billion Coin, ever looked at the elite or whatever it stood for. I had no reason to. But now it's a different game. We have something. We can create. Oh, no, we're not even going there. We've created the economy. Well, he created, or they created the economy, which is the Billion Coin. All we have to do is grow the community. Okay? And once we have grown that community, what do? We start trading. So we don't become dependent on become dependent on Telstra. No. We don't become dependent on what else is out there. On the supermarkets? No. Because we're going to buy these. We're going to create jobs for people, for the unemployed, for the homeless. Each, I can guarantee, at least a good, maybe 80%. Okay, maybe 70%. Members of TBC will create projects for themselves. Okay. That we're already trading with the coin now. People are not waiting for the end result for it to get to the billionth people, because I have to tell you, it ain't going to come overnight, and it's not going to come in a year's time. It may take 2 or 3 years' time, or 5. I mean, this time last year when I joined, it was 122,145, or just something like that, but it was definitely 122,000. So to go from 122,000 to 3 million plus in 1 year, it's a big jump, but not big enough. So for us to meet that billion person, we got to jump even higher. But it can be done. We have time on our hands. We can trade tomorrow. We can trade today. We don't need to wait till we reach that billionth person. All we need to do is go and talk to a person, go and have a conversation with somebody. A conversation is where it all starts. That conversation could lead to an item you purchased with TBCs. If this fella owns a business, he would know other business partners that would be interested in using the TBC coin. So then you have you, the person you've just bought it off, and that person will know have another person. So, you know, links. And that person will know somebody else, and so on, and so on, and so on. And next minute, you have a whole lot of merchants ready to use that TBC coin. So, and then this is what happens. The second apple tree, where it's all those apples are flourishing. It can be done. And I tell you what, from when I started, a whole lot has happened since the day I started. And for the good too. Now, I get proud of my husband when he goes to work and he talks about TBCs. He doesn't mean to say it, he just says it in passing. They try and steer him off to Bitcoin, and he says, oh, it hasn't reached 27,000 since December. And then the look on the person he's having that conversation, well, just shakes his shoulder. And then my husband will turn around and says, oh, have you heard of this coin? He said it's measured to gold. You know who, you know what? He's surely interested in that one. So the change in the last 12 months with TBC for me is huge. Have I lost that passion since the day I joined up? No, I haven't lost that passion. I've just fine-tuned it. When I first signed up, you would never catch me talking on video. No, that's not me. But now, I look forward to my 4 o'clock Perth time slots. I look forward to talking. I always come up with ways of what is my subject, and a couple of times I've become too passionate and too loud, so I thought, oh God, I've got to tone it back a little bit and just slow it down so my mouth doesn't run away with my head. And I've run out of time as normal. So once again, I'd like to thank everybody for dropping in. I don't know if you're still there. Joe Stevens, Zembe, GW. Oh, so thank you for dropping in. Oh, now I cannot raise the screen. It's frozen. Esme, who else? Stephen Covey. Thank you, everybody. If I missed your name, my apologies, but thank you for coming and watching my livey today. I'm actually saying thank you for everybody out there. So this is Sharon Weller saying bye for now. I'm not talking. It's Sunday tomorrow in Perth, okay? So it's church day. I'll see you again Monday. Yeah, that's Monday evening, same time. So bye for now.